a half a mile away from it or better. So we went on up there and checked out some of the equipment and tried to figure out what it all was and how it all worked. So, but that, we believe, is a rock crusher. We think it was ran by steam engines, a couple of steam boilers and a engine and belts ran those big wheels there, and there's a boiler down there, one of the boilers, and we could see a pulley where a belt would have hooked up to go up to the big pulley on the crusher. This is a view from that area looking back down the road where the road split, where Alan and Pat and I were. Alan and Pat were still down there at that time. And I was pictures in case they didn't come on up. That's a view there. You can see it's gorgeous, and the sun is starting to pop out in some areas. Same view without my motorcycle in it. Looking up towards the mountain, that mountain peak up there looked sort of like some sort of castle with straight up and down walls, and it looked like it sort of flattened out at the top, sort of our imagination anyway. We think there was a little lake up there below that center area right there, because it looks like the creek sort of runs out of an area. It looks like it may be a depression there where there's a little lake, but we couldn't get up to that point. So anyway, Alan decided to come on up a little bit later. There he is, about halfway up to where I am, and then he's a little closer. And while he's coming up there, I took a picture of the road that he was climbing up, going up that east side or south side of the mountain. And up there on the top, there was a building, looked like an old barn, tin barn up there. But Alan didn't go up there. That was, I think, a private road. Anyway, Alan's almost up there where I am, so he climbs out on that big mound of dirt, which dropped off sharply in all directions. I was really concerned about his stability, because I was afraid when I got out there that I might stumble and fall all the way to the bottom and hurt myself. Anyway, Alan made it safely back to safer ground. Anyway, the sun has popped out, and Pat finally decided that he would come on up there, and so all three of us were up there and checking out the equipment. That's part of the rock crusher, we believe. There you can get a better view of the rods that were on some sort of cam hooked to that big pulley wheel on the end, that went up and down, crushed the rock into finer ore, and then they probably tried to refine it some way or concentrate it some way through a sluice or something. Alan was checking out that big, he called it a tow motor deal, but it was gears, which we think had a lock on it, and probably ran a cable up the mountainside or across the creek to bring the ore over there to that area. Anyway, I took a video with my little digital camera, and this is the video. So I'm going to hook up the sound right quick. Go. It's got a brake on it too.
That'd be a cable.
Oh.
See that brake strap on it?
Yeah, that would be more for cable, wouldn't it?
I would think
they wouldn't need to break a belt.
Is there a lock on it somewhere?
Huh?
Is there a lock on it somewhere?
I bet it is. I don't know, but I bet.
Yeah, right here probably.
Huh?
That little lever right there may be a lock.
Whatever this is hooked to it down below.
With a lever on it.
Here down below, listen.
I don't know what that would be for.
Oh, that's the brake handle. Brake lever. Goes out the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, that on where the thread
pivots there.
It goes out that way. Yeah, when it pulled down.
Well, that's something else over there then. That may be a lock. See that round thing down in there? There's a lock. There may be a lock to stop it and lock it in place. And a lever going out the other side.
Look at that. It look like a shifting mechanism there to probably maybe change
So it's neutral?
Put it in neutral and rotate it the other way maybe?
Maybe. Or
So it had to be powered off something that's gear rings are powered.
Whatever it was gear driven. The gear.
Probably over
I
there.
bet the gear driver was right here.
It was gears and then this is cable. Yeah. That's pretty good steel. It hadn't rusted very much.
We went on up the Maggie Gulch Road, and Alan saw the little bear that stopped in the road and ran up into some brush right beside the grassy area there and just disappeared, but we didn't want to investigate that too closely. Anyway, we went on up to the abandoned mine way on up the gulch, not at the top but at the end of the road, about 5 miles from our camp, and there was all this abandoned mine equipment, and we were trying to figure out how it all worked. And we spent a lot of time there investigating the rock crusher down in here, and we think it was powered by steam and belts, and they evidently had built up a lot of water there too. Built a little dam across the gulch there, and we think this had something to do with the water flow. And Alan thinks this little depression area up in here actually has a lake, a natural lake in it, but we couldn't go up that far on the bikes. The trail ended there. Some more equipment just scattered around and abandoned. There it looks like a boiler for a steam engine. There's the rock crusher part and another pulley on this side, and some pulleys and cams and stuff in here. Pretty good size little rock crusher. There's a little bit better view of the rock crushing rods right there that were on a camshaft or a crankshaft there. There's some abandoned wheels and stuff down there, steel wheels. This, we believe, was a dam that held water back behind it at one time. There's a little bit more about the pulley, the belts that ran from down here up around this big rock crusher deal there, and the gearing down and the steam engine over here. That's a view from the abandoned mine with the sun popping out over the mountains. This is the trail we came up on and went all the way back down there. And I believe from our campsite we could see that mountain way up above us. This is above tree line, and we were probably around 10,000 feet, so this is probably up close to 11,000 feet right here, or better, 12, something like that. Anyway, this is just a beautiful area down up through here, especially when the sun popped out. There's some more of the equipment. We think this may have been a water channel for the water to come back in this cave right here, possibly. That's another view looking down from the abandoned mine area. As we were coming back down from the abandoned mine, we were approaching the area of the falls right in the V there way below us, but it was just a gorgeous sight with the humidity was pretty high and the sunlight shining, rays shining across that Animas River Valley there. So we continued on down the mountain. Another view of the valley below. Getting on down closer, you can really see the sun rays there. We were already down. I was just right by the waterfalls, and you can see Alan and Pat on sort of the right center of the screen. Let me zoom in a little bit. There's Alan, I believe, and there's Pat going down the shelf road beside the waterfall. And there they are further on down the mountain. There's Alan, and I think Pat is back here behind the trees at this time. So there's Pat going down the mountain. And there's the creek below the waterfalls, headed on down towards our camp, which is still probably 1,000 feet below, way down there in the valley. You can see it right in the center of the picture there, the Animas Valley down there below. And just right before we got down to our camp, there was a pretty sharp little switchback there, and it was a little muddy, and Alan was headed straight towards the trees. You can see the skid marks there, and he finally laid it over right before he got off of the road there. Pat said he wasn't going that fast. He just was headed straight towards the trees and couldn't get it to turn. Anyway, we got him up and on the way again. A little better view of the setting. You can see the muddy part over here on the left lower corner of the picture. Alan was trying to go around that and just locked it up, I guess. Anyway, we're back at camp. Alan and Pat are coming in behind me at this time, and as you can see, it shows 8:52, but this is Central Time, so it's about 8 o'clock actually. We got back to camp, still daylight, still sun shining. So we cooked us a big, nice big foil burger meal for that last meal there. No, not this night. We did it the next night. Anyway, that was our day going up Maggie Gulch. On Tuesday, August the 14th, we were still sort of tired from riding the Stony Pass Road and trail number 821 from Sunday. So we sort of again decided to take it easy and not try to ride too far. So we rode up to Animas Forks, the old gold mine there, and the houses and some of the remnants of the town. And then we rode back to camp. It started getting cold up there, and we decided not to try to ride California Gulch or Picayune Gulch or see the other old gold mines up the California Gulch. Anyway, we got back to camp 3 o'clock or so. We loaded up the camp gear and four-wheeler after a great foil burger supper. That day we only rode about 12 miles. Well, it's Tuesday morning. We're packing up, going to ride up around Animas Forks a little bit. Maybe Lake Como, I don't know. Pat and I have had a shower separately. Alan rode into town and called Jamie. Almost ran out of gas. We haven't finished your gas yet either, or mine either. We haven't finished topping your gas tank off. You're really low. I'm okay probably, but anyway, there's the beautiful mountains and our beautiful campsite. We're trying to clean it up a little bit. We're gonna load up everything tonight and head out early Wednesday morning. Huh? I
said our camp is going to be a lot better than it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to have a latrine. Going up to Animas Forks. Eureka's right in front of us. the Eureka Mine. Waterfall coming down there. We're going out into the Animas River. I think that was a smelter. And the actual mines were up there somewhere. It looks like some cable stands.
There's a road up there somewhere. I saw cars coming down. I thought somewhere. I don't know. Guess not. I don't know.
This is Eureka. Animas Forks up that way. We're about up.
That was a gold mine.
I would say it's that or silver.
Probably a little over 10,000 feet, maybe here.
A lot of silver was in here. Obviously the name sound.
Yeah.
Grandma's self.
Hey, smile.
Where does that road over there go where those cars are parked and that road going up the side of that mountain right there back?
I think it goes up to that mine. Right there by the smelter.
You know those roads.
Eureka mine that I've had pictures of before. You see all the tailings and stuff here. Nice little waterfall over here. Some other abandoned equipment here, and this is what they call the concentrator, or maybe a smelter of some sort, to refine the ore a little bit better. Anyway, this was a camping ground that we almost camped out, but they wanted $10 per person per night to camp there, and where we were was a lot better camping site for free. So we did all right there. Another view of Eureka Mine, abandoned. There's the campsite showing there, and this valley right here goes on up the Animas River valley, goes on up to Animas Forks, abandoned mine and community. There we are again at the same spot. Animas River. One little rapids after another. And there's some sort of cave right there. And up around the corner looks like a mine or something.
What road is this, Cecil?
Huh?
What road is this?
This is the Animas Forks Road.
Is it?
Yeah, same one we came on the other night.
Man, I've been up this same. My memory.
The old hole there. There's a hole up yonder, the tailings, and the big tailing right yonder. Looks like a gopher hole right there.
Is that a road right there?
Looks like it used to be, or trail. See, it goes on around that way. A couple of them do. There's that tailings and mine that we saw right down the river. And they made a little dam up there. Still going over the logs.
Where we got the cable cars, they had cable trucks and really big stuff. They must have found a lot to justify that much investment.
Also, we got out of 150
This is another mine, about
Look at all those,
a quarter of a mile up the road.
look at all those PVC pipes.
Yeah,
Is that the drainage or pumping?
I don't know.
I'd say this thing is in disarray. Hey, there's a good looking old car over there.
Yeah, an old Dodge Fury, isn't it?
I
Or,
can't tell if it's
or Dodge
car,
something.
but I can't tell if it's
Well, there's a lot of wood. Railroad tracks. Looks like the mine going back in there, maybe. Maybe right there.
It'd be interesting to look at these things before they're deteriorated, like what this building here. I'm sure there's some kind of sluice. Then he wedges all that up there.
We went on up Animas River, and there's another big abandoned mine up there with has some sort of modern equipment, like a car abandoned there, and some modern painted equipment and stuff like that. By the way, the train from Silverton used to go up this way, I believe along this side of the creek, at about a 7% grade, and went all the way up to Animas Forks. And it may have gone further than that at times. I understand that at one time there was a train that went all the way to whlr to Silverton. Anyway, a lot of debris scattered around this area. That's the same area, but they had a little bridge across there, but it was blocked off, and the bridge was, and the road was too. Same area. Taking pictures and videoing. And spotted a waterfall. Spotted this one first, and then Pat saw it where it came off even higher. And I've got some real good videos of these, I believe, of this waterfall. Came way down the mountain to right where we were parked. Big waterfall up there.
Yeah, big waterfall.
And it's coming down the mountain. That's probably a 100-foot waterfall to the bottom of it anyway.
Yeah. This is his receiving. There may be more on this.
Yeah, it may, yeah.
Can I take that chip of yours and have a movie made of it?
No.
I'll let you play this.
Another nice little waterfall
Yeah.
hole up there. I'll do it. I always do, don't I?
Yeah.
Now I get the whole waterfall. Yeah, I see that one way up there. The very top. And there comes that one. The old suspension bridge across there. Sort of like the one that goes over Lake San Cristobal, part of it. That guy's getting some measurements and everything, documenting everything. And your footing is really bad. You scared me to death when you walked out on that dam yesterday up there at the deal.
Scared me too.
I was scared
But I'm
when I
trying to
went
get
out there.
past that.
Well,
With
equilibrium, as you get older, I think you will realize that an equilibrium. I got the same problem.
here's the footbridge. Goes on across. Yeah, a cave over there. See that big cave over there too?
Yeah.
If we hadn't paid back the camp, we could see that far quick.
Nice waterfall there.
We used to go jet skiing every New Year. This one year it was cold. The water was 42 degrees. And Eddie Green was one of our racers, you know. He fell off the jet ski and he got back on going to school. Did he not? No, he never went rescue. He just never got wet. But Eddie did. He said he pulled his baby to over and said, that thing got up before I thought I would go up.
Well,
I'm gonna have to delete that, I guess.
you know, we used
Came and rescued us. He told us the water was 42 degrees.
Yeah.
How long did he say you could live in 42 degrees?
Well, he didn't say that, but I know we had to have been in there. Oh, I didn't tell y'all the complete story either. I missed part of it.
The Paul Harvey, the rescue.
No. But how I knew God saved us when we were both about to go under. The gas can come floating by, and I said, Jamie, I'm going to go get that gas can. I'll be right back.
Live.
Live. It was about from here to my motorcycle. And I grabbed that can, and by the time I got back, that's when she was gone. And I grabbed it, and I knew, and I pulled her up. That part got away from me. And I'm not trying to make it more dramatic by adding to it, but I swear to you, that's the way it was.
I wouldn't if that hadn't been a completion thing in your life. You just could have told you.
Why that gas can? The gas can was the one that really made you know that there was divine intervention.
I'm talking about,
I guess I'm the kind that needs to be.
I don't think that's a functional bridge anymore then. I'm talking to the camera.
If you could.
A little work and it would probably be alright.
If you want to try it, I'll hold the camera and take it.
That gas can come float by was the one that made us both think that.
You ever think about that on the Titanic where people were out there jamming and all of a sudden
Other we came across this abandoned mine area, and at this point they had a steel cable footbridge across here, and as you can see there's not much left of it. It'd be pretty difficult to walk across there right now, way above the Animas River, probably 50 feet below. There's the river at that same spot, and there's the part of the abandoned foundations. There was a guy taking all kinds of measurements and notes in an old douche or push all-terrain vehicle. Looked like an old army truck or something like that. Anyway, we think that there was some sort of cable powered system here that went across the river and brought over to this side to be transported out. That's what we think. There's the abandoned side on the east side of the river at the same spot. Another picture of the abandoned footbridge, and notice the waterfall and real pretty little pool right here. Looked inviting, but it's probably ice cold water. And there were some caves or mines in the same area that we could see. That one was a pretty big one. pretty good sized timbers down there.
They cut some big trees down there.
Yeah.
All these structures in there.
Yeah.
You notice how big they are?
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Looks like an old trail going up the mountainside. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 switchbacks at least. Maybe 8. And then it goes on a shelf road on around the mountain over there. We're getting on up there. We're almost out of the trees.
You know, these old hard-working guys that did all this, the grandchildren inherited all their money.
Yeah.
And they own big buildings in New York City. And
Yeah, but a lot of them, probably that built stuff like this, they were just working. And they worked for nearly nothing probably. Owed their soul to the company store.
for somebody else that became millionaires. And
Yeah. There's the road going on up to Animas Forks or to Cinnamon Pass, Engineers Pass, and or. Yeah, and you can see way up there on the mountain, that's Cinnamon Pass Road up there.
Yeah.
See it way up there going that way?
It looks like a road takes off right here. Cecil goes.
Yeah. We're at Animas Forks, the old smelter. Animas River. Gonna go on up on top of that mountainside there to the town of Animas Forks.
Something up there. Look at all them little holes.
Yeah, I think that's their smelter or something. Beautiful up here. Little bitty cabin way up there on the hill. Might not be that small. Animas Forks, founded 1880, elevation 11,160. Who would want to drive off the road?
Yeah.
The roads are rough enough.
Hey, the old road's horrible. Look at those guys that are trying to fire.
Yeah. There's Cinnamon Pass up yonder. Goes around that way, Cinnamon Pass Road does. Alan, see that black and white Jeep up there? That's Cinnamon Road, Cinnamon Pass Road.
That Jeep up there.
Way up there.
Yeah, the white Jeep.
This is a pretty good size little community still intact building.
The buildings have got metal roofs on them.
Yeah.
They wasn't that way. They didn't have metal. They
No.
used wood shingle like down there on the
Yeah.
hotel.
Exactly.
They restored that tried to restore it.
Like a mine over there. This is all the lodging over here, I guess, for the workers.
Well, that's the two-story up there. One time I read somewhere that that was on a daily basis, you know, the life as they experienced it.
Yeah.
I know it'd be a lot harder than what we were used
Well,
to. I know that.
That's what Alan and I were talking about. He said all these workers out here probably sent tons of money back, and I said, well, a lot of them were just working.
A lot
for,
of them were getting whiskey money,
yeah,
survival money.
and they owed their soul to the company store.
Yeah, and they did grub stakes. You know,
And
the one
they-
that were minor were grub stakes, and
Yeah,
they did hit a little gold. They went to town and spent it on
Yeah.
wind and
places like this was a big company operation type
yeah.
deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the wine, women, and song.
Oh yeah. And what I'm getting at is, it was in existence. Most of them knew they were going to be dead by 40. You realize probably very few miners live past 40 unless they got out of the business. That's the only way they live past 40, I would think.
Well, there might have been some of them that found, chunks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking up California Gulch. It says points of interest is the Frisco Tunnel, the Vermilion, Sound Democrat, 1886, Mountain Queen 1882, and Cold Prince 1903 mines. We thought about going on up that way, but I think we're all pretty tired from everything else we've done this week, so we're going to eat lunch here after I fall.
Where?
On that sign, don't you see it?
What?
Democrats live forever, don't it say that?
No,
I didn't read it.
that's the different names of the mines.
Oh, well, that word is Democrat, is
Yeah.
there?
Democrat.
Democrat.
There goes
Sound
Cinnamon
Democrat.
Pass Road over yonder.
That was when Democrats were halfway decent people.
Over there. We came down the other night in the dark. Well, there's our picnic area right there. So, I'm hungry.
I don't know
Y'all?
why we didn't stop up there where there was a little more.
Yeah, life gets
I think we're going to head back to campground. Alan's going to run into town to get some souvenirs, and hopefully it won't start snowing on us. Feels like it's cold enough to snow. What temperature is yours say, Alan? It's showing 60 something, a little over 60. See what mine shows. I think mine's reading high.
Well, it's like,
Move that glove right there, Pat.
please.
Please, sir. 57.2.
I would have a possibly agree
Feels cooler than that.
that yours is closer to right than his from the standpoint
Yeah.
of the way it feels.
It feels like a northern blown in.
It feels like to me it could be in the low 50s.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the 40s, but in the low 50s.
Anyway, we're gonna go back down to the camp. Animas Forks. The first prospectors wintered in 3 forks of the Animas in 1873, looking for silver and gold. In 1875, the name was changed to Animas Forks to accommodate the post office department. And funds were committed by the San Juan County Commissioners to build a road between Silverton and Animas Forks to connect with the train from Lake City, now known as Cinnamon Pass. By 1885, the summer population reached 450 people. Few people braved the harsh winters when most mining activity stopped. The town weathered the boom and bust cycles of the mining industry until the early 1920s, when metal prices fell worldwide and it began its slow transformation to a ghost town. Animas Forks Pioneer at 11,200 feet, the Animas Forks Pioneer was the only newspaper. The mill was constructed with structural steel instead of heavy timber and was later salvaged for use in the Sunnyside Mill in Eureka, 1917. It was connected to the Gold Prince mine by a cable tramway 12,000 feet long, which brought the ore to the mill in buckets. It had 100 stamps and processed 500 tons of ore a day. In 1904, the extension of the Silverton Northern Railroad from Eureka carried the refined ore concentrates to Silverton. The mill closed in 1910 after operating only 60 years. Here's a picture of Animas Forks. The view of this downtown Animas Forks looks south towards Silverton. In the foreground is the famous...
Off the road.
Oh no! Yeah. Stabilized. The Jeep ran off the road over there. This is part of a historic house with the help of the Ghost Town Club of Colorado, Outward Bound, and Grant. They just run off, Alan?
I don't know, I just have to look up there and see it. This guy here was this
Did y'all notice that Jeep over there?
Oh yeah.
They okay?
Yeah, they're okay. Yeah. In fact, they're sitting over there.
Oh. Probably had to go
There's,
clean out their pants.
Yeah, yeah.
We didn't notice that a while ago.
Yeah. This is the film, I think.
But I might have got you in there.
Oh, sorry. Saw that.
Slid off the road over there.
Saw that.
Probably have to get some director out here to.
He probably was trying to pull over to let
They're
someone
okay.
pass or something.
I'd be in there.
They're able to get out and they're over here.
Too late to
Let's say.
turn around.
Luckily the trees caught them, I think.
Bummer.
You're not breathing so hard.
Here comes the parrot.
I
I like it.
More acclimated than me.
But when I like it, I'm breathing.
The only thing I didn't like was how to get
I wasn't prepared for it. Oh, well, my husband's from Texas, but I don't think he'd be able to pick up on it. He doesn't have any Texan accent at all. His mom, you couldn't understand his mom. She was heavy accent, but
We're all three from Waco and
oh, really?
we're going home tomorrow.
Clarify them, we don't talk.
Huh?
We don't talk.
Not compared to Bill's mom, you don't talk funny.
With Canada a lot. They'd almost,
I was going to show you that we.
they'd almost pay me to talk. Just for me to talk.
Animas Forks, the elevation is over 11,000 feet, and this is their concentrator or smelter at Animas Forks, which was a pretty big mine operation. I think they had as many as 150, 200 miners that lived there. Little town, newspaper, and several saloons, post office, things like that. You can see the Animas River flowing right down beside that and right in front of us there. Went on up to the town, and Animas Forks, founded in 1880 at an elevation of 11,160 feet. And by the way, Engineer Pass is on up this way, Cinnamon Pass is back to the right over this way, and California Gulch and Pass and Hurricane Pass, Poughkeepsie Gulch, Corkscrew Gulch, and Mineral Creek Road, all is up to the left there on that road, but we decided not to push our luck, go too far. It was getting pretty cool and threatening rain. Anyway, we wound up taking a lot of pictures here, checking out some of the buildings, and that's Cinnamon Pass going up the opposite mountain, that white Jeep on it. And this is a little road that sort of loops through Animas Forks and back over to the road going to Engineer Pass up here, and Cinnamon Pass Road right up there. This is the same spot that the yellow Jeep ran off the road earlier. This is what's left of the town of Animas Forks. At one time there were a lot more buildings here, but a lot of them burned and fell down and stuff, or were destroyed or recycled somewhere else. But this is the road called California Gulch, which leads off to the west, and there are several mines: the Tunnel Mine, the Frisco Mine, the Vermilion, the Sound Democrat in 1886, Mountain Queen 1882, and the Gold Prince 1903 mine is up that way. The Gold Prince was a huge operation, probably the biggest mine in the United States at one time, but it only lasted about 6 years, and things played out. This is looking back towards the smelter or concentrator, and the way we came in was down this road here, and this goes back towards Silverton, the valley does. And we decided to take advantage of this big picnic table slab and hang our feet off the edge of it a little bit and have a little summer sausage and crackers for lunch. And while we were there, the wind shifted and the temperature seemed to drop considerably. So this was a picture of the old hotel, one of the old hotels that was there back in the 1880s, still standing. And there's a picture of the Jeep that ran off the road that loops around through Animas Forks. Don't know exactly why, but he was okay. He was up there waiting on the San Juan Tours shuttle bus to come by and pick him up, take him back down. We didn't hang around and watch them try to get that off of there, but luckily it didn't fall on down the mountainside. I guess the rocks or the brush retained it from falling any further. There's another view of it. We're going down. Going back towards Silverton. There's that road that cuts off by Picayune Trail, Gulch Trail, goes to the east.
And all the dead trees on the bank.
Yeah,
I couldn't figure what it was at first.
it's the Animas River down there, upper reaches of it.
We're just now coming back into the tree line, right?
Yeah. Beautiful valley.